Hi guys, in this video I'll be doing my third episode of Hot Takes with Chase Anderson, and the other two will be in the description, and so Chase Anderson's channel, so go check him out. He's a super cool dude, and yeah, that will be the intro, so yeah.
What's up guys? Welcome back to another video. It is episode 3 of NFL Hot Takes. And in today's video, I'm here with the team Lothar, and we have a lot to discuss today. So today is the franchise tag deadline, July 15th. We are 2 weeks away from training camp, which training camp looks like it will start on time. Most likely, some teams are going to do it without fans. Some have yet to make announcements, but a lot of teams hadn't made announcements regarding the upcoming season. So we are going to discuss the franchise tag deadline. That's going to be our main topics today. We're going to discuss the deals that got done. We're going to discuss the deals that have yet to get done. The deadline actually ends in an hour and 54 minutes at 1 p.m. Pacific or 4 p.m. Eastern. Depends on what time zone you're on. So we're going to discuss Dak Prescott, Derrick Henry, Chris Jones, Myles Garrett. And then we're going to discuss also the upcoming NFL season and the announcements that have been made. One team has already announced that they will play without fans. And another team also announced that for the preseason. And then our last topic, we're going to discuss Kenny Stills, Texans wide receiver, arrested at a Black Lives Matter protest. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get right into it, starting off with two announcements that were made today. First is that the Eagles, along with the Philadelphia Phillies, will not be playing this season with fans. And then lots of other teams, the Patriots are only going to play with 25% capacity. And the Packers will have yet to make an announcement around the regular season, but they will not have fans at training camp or in the preseason. So what are your thoughts on those announcements? First, the Eagles announcing that they won't play with fans.
I have to say I agree with them, honestly, because I don't think that you should be playing with fans currently in the situation we're in, and especially there's more. In my opinion, I agree with them. I think that I do that. Philly is a pretty big place for the virus, so yeah, I think that it's good that they're doing it. Same with Green Bay. I think that it's good they're doing it.
Yeah, I think it was the right decision to make, and I think most of the teams are going to have to make that decision. The Chiefs are going to play with 25% capacity. The Patriots are going to play with 20% so that they can social distance. So I think every team is going to end up having to do that, and I think it's the safest way to go with the cases going up. But I think it's great that we're right now, as of now, we're being assured that NFL season will start on time. Because the training camp dates have been announced. They start July 28th. A lot of teams are doing training camp without fans. Some of the teams have moved where they're going to do it. Like the Cowboys have decided that they will not hold it in Oxford, California. They will move it back to Texas. But yeah, I think this is definitely the right decision to make. To play without fans. I mean, there's not any other way to do it. This is the safest way to go, and I think the Eagles made a great decision. And all the other teams who are like the Baltimore Ravens, the Patriots and Chiefs are going to play with lower capacity. I think that they will be able to do that, and I think as long as teams do that, we will be able to start the NFL season on time. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. The next topic, this was a report that came out today, this morning, which is Texans wide receiver Kenny Stills being arrested at a Black Lives Matter protest. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that it's the dumbest thing ever. This man was really protesting for Breonna Taylor, and I think his agent said it best. Kenny Stills protesting for someone who died because of racism, and then the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. Nope, nothing happens to them. They killed her for no reason. Because of her skin color. It's the dumbest thing ever. And it's not just Kenny Stills. It's the fact that, 87 other people got it. And it was a felony charge? No, it makes no sense. This man did nothing wrong. He's standing up for what he believes is right, and I think that is the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah. So, he is protesting for the police killing of Breonna Taylor. He and 86 other people were arrested at the protest in Louisville, Kentucky, according to this Louisville Journal. So they were protesting for Breonna Taylor, who was killed on March 13th. Police officers executed a no-knock warrant at her apartment and shot her at least 8 times while she was sleeping. But yeah, I think this is definitely wrong. I think that, we don't really get any information as to why it was a felony charge, but we don't know if he was if he was protesting peacefully, then it's ridiculous. And I think that, the NFL is encouraging protests peacefully, obviously, but I just don't think that this is right, and I think that he should be released. But, this is very sad that something like this is still happening today, and I think that he should definitely be released. Yeah, it is definitely really sad, though, that this is still happening today. But it's really sad what happened with Breonna Taylor. And Kenny Stills definitely should not have been arrested. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on it. We don't have, information as to whether he was protesting violently or peacefully. But either way, I don't think he should be arrested. And he probably will be released. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Both agree on that. Next, we're going to start hopping into the franchise deadline. But first, I guess we can start off with the deals that have not yet gotten done. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys with 40 minutes left, a little over 40 minutes. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys are not expected to reach a deal. It is looking very unlikely. Looks like he will play under the tag. What is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, he's getting $31.4 million per year, so I think it's a smart idea from Dak Prescott. I mean, he's a pretty good QB, and he hasn't really ever had a bad season yet. And I don't expect him to really have any terrible seasons, because he's a solid QB. I think he's getting a bit overpaid. I don't think that he should be getting paid $31.5 million. But at least they have a franchise quarterback, and they won't really need to worry about that, except if he gets injured, which he hasn't really gotten injured yet. So I think that he's pretty durable, and I think that they might be able to keep him for a quite long time. So I think it's a good play on the Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't understand what else he could have wanted. Yesterday they offered him $100 million guaranteed. But the Cowboys are not going to have cap space to tag him again in 2021, which is something that you should know. But yeah, the Cowboys, they're just not willing to pay him the money that he wants. And I don't think a deal is going to get done. I think it's too late. But he will play under the franchise tag, because a report came out 2 days ago that he plans to play under the franchise tag. But I think he's definitely the Cowboys franchise quarterback. And I think that I'm not a big Cowboys fan. I think that their ownership is just makes poor decisions. But I think that they believe that this is their franchise quarterback. But they're just not willing to pay him that much, which is definitely interesting. But yeah, I think he's asking for too much, though.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think that the Cowboys will be okay in 2020, though. But they are in trouble with the contract situation. It's not going to get done today in this next hour. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Anthony Harris, Vikings safety. Yeah. His deal is not expected to get done, and it will not get done. What are your thoughts on that?
What is he getting paid on the franchise tag? $11.5 million or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
What is he? A strong safety, a free safety? He's not the greatest player of all time, but he's a pretty good player. Don't get me wrong. I think that the franchise tag is the best bet for the Vikings in this situation. Like, I don't think that he should be getting really paid more than 11 million, maybe 12 million at max. But like, I think that the Vikings are going with the right decision with the franchise tag.
Yeah, so he'll be a free agent in 2021, and it is official. He will not. This is just breaking news that he will not get a long-term deal with the Vikings. And this is something very interesting to know. Back in March, before the draft, the Vikings tried to trade him to the Giants. That just came out right now. But yeah, he's not going to get a deal done. He's a decent safety. I don't think he'll re-sign with the Vikings next year, though. And that's interesting that they tried to trade him to the Giants. So obviously they didn't want to get a deal done. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Yep.
Yeah. Another report that just came out right now, breaking news, is that Derrick Henry is expected to get a long-term deal with the Titans.
That's good,
What's your thought on that? What's your thoughts on that?
I think that the Titans are doing good here. I don't think that they should give him the franchise tag. I think that they should give him a long-term deal because Derrick Henry seems like something special. I mean, like, this guy was a beast in college. He won the Heisman Trophy. And like, this guy, he's like a bigger version. Well, not really a bigger version of Frank Gore. Like, Frank Gore was I love Frank Gore because I'm an Niners fan, and Frank Gore was a very physical player, but at the same time, he wasn't because like he's so short at 5'9", but Derrick Henry's like full on beast mode physical because like he's so tall and so strong, and I think that the Titans are making the right move here. I mean, he led the league in rushing yards and was tied for rushing touchdowns. And I think that he's something very special.
Yeah, he's definitely very hard to bring down, as you saw in that game against the Ravens.
Yep.
So they are reaching a long-term deal. Right now, as of what we can know, is that they're working in their advanced talks, and the deal will get done. So the deal will get done. Derrick Henry is a great running back. I think he's definitely part of the Titans' future. He's a great running back. You know, Ryan Tannehill is a decent quarterback, but the Titans have one of the best run games in Derrick Henry. He's just so big, so hard to bring down, and I think that he definitely should be part of the Titans' future. And I think that it's great for him to get a deal done with the Titans because he is the Titans' future as far as their run game. Yeah, he accounted for 30% of the Titans' offense during the regular season. The run game, Derrick Henry is a huge part of the Titans' offense, and if they ever lost him, they would lose a lot without him. Well, they would lose a lot in their run game. But yeah, yesterday it came out that they were not expected to reach a long-term deal. Now it's coming out that they will, so they will. I mean, Ryan Tannehill, he said that he wanted them to extend him. So, yeah, Derrick Henry is a huge part of the Titans. He's really the reason why the Titans why they beat the Ravens, and why they got to that conference championship game, and why they were Super Bowl contenders last season, and why they will be this season. You definitely cannot count out the Titans this season with Derrick Henry.
The team
he's going to be working for another rushing title. He's a great running back, probably number 5 right now, but he's just so hard to bring down. He's just different than other running backs.
Yep.
In the way that he's so hard to bring down. Jaguars player Yannick.
Yannick Ngakoue?
Yannick Ngakoue. The report on him that just came out, I bring it up right now. So he's willing to play out tag if a trade can be made. Yeah, but they're almost out of time for a contract. Do you think that it will get done?
I think that they should give Yannick Ngakoue a tag, or not a tag, sorry, a contract, because like he's a great player. What was he a Pro? No, he wasn't a Pro Bowl. I'm not sure if he was a Pro Bowl last year.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But he is a good player. He's probably one of the best players on the Titans right now. I mean, like, they do have DJ Shark, who's young and great. And I think that they should keep him because, like, he started his career in 2016, so he's still pretty young. He's got a lot of time left. I think that he can help them. Like, in the 17-18 season, he got 12 sacks. In last season, he got 8 sacks. But I think that they should keep him.
Yeah. So today, there's definitely a possibility that I don't think a tag's going to get done. I mean, a deal's going to get done. So it looks like that there's definitely a possibility he could be traded. The Jaguars have received multiple offers for him, including one team offering a Pro Bowl player, according to NFL Network.
Oh, yeah, I heard about
but the
that.
team is in no rush to make a move. But there's a possibility that he could potentially be traded, and I think the best fit for him would be on the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that would be a huge fit for him. But the Eagles could also go after Clowney, so it's up to them. I heard that it's a complicated deal to get done. I don't think the deal's going to get done. It sounds he did ask. I think he did ask for a trade. But yeah, I don't think that. I think that he will be traded. I think that it could be to the Eagles. I don't know if it'll happen today though. So yeah, now we can talk about the two biggest deals that got done. Kansas City, they secured Chris Jones for 4 more years on a big contract. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, Kansas City, bro, they're just a super team at this point. I mean, like, they're gonna have Tyreek Hill. I think that they might just keep Tyreek Hill as well. Top 5 receiver in the league, in my opinion. They have Chris Jones, who is, in my opinion, the second best D-line in the league. They have Patrick Mahomes, who in my opinion is the best QB in the league. And their defense isn't going to be too much worse than last season.
Mm-hmm.
And they still have an insane chance of winning the Super Bowl again this season.
Yeah, they're definitely probably the top contender to repeat as champions. But they have such a young team. They're not going away anytime soon. Patrick Mahomes is only 24. Tyreek Hill's 26. Frank Clark's 27. Tyrann Mathieu is 28. Sammy Watkins is 27. Chris Jones is 26. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who will probably be the starter next year.
Yeah.
Or Damian Williams at running back, 21 years old. Then Juan Thornhill is 24. So yeah, I mean, I think the Chiefs, I think that they would have survived without Chris Jones because of how explosive that offense is, but it definitely would have been a lot more challenging. And you could just see how quickly things changed. A few days ago, it looked like the Chiefs had no chance, like they were going to trade him or he was going to hold out. And then a few days later, they signed him to an $85 million deal that includes $60 million in guarantees. So yeah. The Chiefs did a lot. I mean, they restructured Sammy Watkins' deal in order to keep him around. I mean, everybody thought that, the Chiefs were going to lose a lot of players with that big Patrick Mahomes contract, that they weren't going to be able to get Chris Jones back. A lot of people thought, I didn't think that they were going to be able to get Chris Jones back with that huge contract. But the Chiefs, Brett Veach, he knew what he was doing in order to get Chris Jones for 4 more years. That Patrick Mahomes knew that he needed Chris Jones back. And so they structured that deal around him in order to, they obviously they paid Patrick Mahomes the big money on the biggest contract in sports, but they made it such a team-friendly deal, which I think was very hard to do, and I'm surprised that it was able to happen. But yeah, I think the Kansas City Chiefs fans should definitely be very excited, and they're my top contender for the Super Bowl next season. So they restructured Sammy Watkins' deal. It didn't look like they were going to be able to keep him. They added Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They extended Patrick Mahomes for 10 more years with 12 more years still on his contract.
Yep.
They extended Chris Jones for 4 more years. And out of next season, there's no reason to think why they won't be as good, if not better. Because out of 22 starters, they're returning 20. This is big for the Kansas City Chiefs defense. I think that if they can improve that defense just a little bit, they're definitely like a top contender. But I still think that they could be. I think if the defense plays where they were at last season, I think they can repeat as champs. Maybe even a little worse, but I think that they will be good. I mean, nobody thought that this deal was going to be able to get done. Everybody thought, that big of a deal. The Chiefs are, a couple months ago, they only had like $100 in cap space. Chris Jones had the second most sacks in the NFL since 2016, behind Aaron Donald. But that's big for the Chiefs. You need to be able to sign Mahomes as your franchise quarterback, and then being able to get Chris Jones to a long-term deal after having just $177 in cap space is huge. Chris Jones, because they were stuck a few days ago, and now they were able to dig themselves out of the dirt and be able to re-sign Chris Jones, which is big for this Chiefs defense.
Yeah.
To be able to keep improving. Okay, yeah. So as of right now, Derrick Henry has agreed to a 4-year deal, so he will re-sign with the Titans.
Ooh.
But yeah, back to Chris Jones. The Chiefs defense is going to be really good this year. I think top 15, maybe 12. But yeah, that offense is just going to get better. They have such a young team, but they could form a dynasty, as much like the Patriots did. With how young that team is, Patrick Mahomes, he probably has 12, 13 more seasons, and that the Chiefs are probably going to run the division his entire career, most likely. And that's big for them being able to keep all of those starters back. The other big contract that happened was, surprisingly, Myles Garrett will sign a 5-year deal with the Browns. So what is your thoughts on that?
Myles Garrett, we all know what happened in the 1920 season, but this man still was able to get 10 sacks in that season with all he had. And then in the 18-19 season, got 13.5. In his rookie season, he was the first pick, got 7 sacks. He's definitely something special. I'm not sure what the whole altercation was about, if Mason Rudolph did what Myles Garrett said he did. It might or might not have happened, both ways. I think that they should still keep Myles Garrett. Although it is gonna be a bit bad for his career, it'll ruin his reputation definitely a bit. But I think that he's still a good special player who can get a lot of sacks. He might be able to get 15 sacks next season if the season goes on, and if he doesn't do anything wrong. So
it's a $125 million 5-year contract, and I think that eventually, that's going to be the whole thing around his career that people are always going to remember. But I think the people should also remember that he's a decent defensive player. Myles Garrett is, and I think that people should also remember him for that. Not saying that they should, stop not remembering that, but I think that they should also remember that he is a decent defensive player. It was a 5-year deal really necessary, though? I'm not sure. I don't know if he, lived up to that. But I think that he's a player that the Browns should keep around on their defense, because he is a decent player, and I think people need to remember that.
Yep.
Our last topic is news that happened last week. It happened the day that we recorded the video, though, so we couldn't get to it until now. Which is Raheem Mostert, 49ers running back, asking for a trade. What is your thoughts on that?
I'm so sad that he's doing this, because I am a Niners fan, and man, I don't get why he wants to trade, though. Apparently the Niners have been unproductive over the offseason with his contract. But he's good. He's probably our best running back currently. We're gonna give him a decent deal, hopefully, but nope. And we brought him to the Super Bowl. Yeah, granted, he did carry us in the Packers game. Gave us the second most rushing yards ever in an NFC Championship game, or in the playoffs in general, with 210 rushing yards, I believe. But he's definitely gonna hurt our chances of going to the Super Bowl big time. honestly, because, like, although we do have Kevin Coleman, he's still great, but, like, I think that Raheem Mostert might have been able to get, like, 900 yards maybe next season. Like, what, he got 778 this season, so I think that he would definitely been able to do some damage on the Niners. But it's going to be sad to see him go if he goes, for sure.
Yeah, I think that the 49ers need to pay him. I think he's a really good running back. I mean, the 49ers, he was all part of their running game last season, especially against the Packers. They really didn't throw much. But I don't think he's going to get traded because he requested a trade because there's been no progress on the contract talks, as you said. I think the 49ers, that they've been unproductive. I think that that's disappointing considering how good of a running back he is. And the run game is definitely a big part of the 49ers offense because they really do not throw much. Well, they do throw, they have Kittle at the tight end position. But the run game is definitely a big part of their offense. Their other running backs, Kevin Coleman, Jeff Wilson, and Jerick McKinnon. But yeah.
McKinnon hasn't played in forever.
I think the 49ers could get a decent player from a trade. There's been several players who asked for a trade this offseason, but the best landing spot for him, I think, that could make this team a Super Bowl contender if they're not already, would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that he would definitely fit in their offense. But I don't know what the 49ers could get out of that trade. Will a trade happen? I don't think so. I think that the 49ers need to reach out to him. I'm sure they have. But he's a really good running back. But the question for you, because you're a 49ers fan, do you think that Raheem Mostert has proven himself after just one season? What are your thoughts on that?
I give him another half a season, and if he does, like, give or take 600 yards. Well, no, that's insane if he gets 600 yards in half a season. Well, the 49ers are actually a, start of the season team, but, like, I give him actually maybe another whole season. If he gets, like, over 750, I keep him. Because, like, this guy is hecka fast. And, he does got some strength in him as well. Like, it was impossible to take him down versus the Packers.
Yeah. To me, it just doesn't make sense why they don't want to pay him because it's only an additional $1.4 million. So I think that a deal will get done, and I think it needs to get done.
Yep.
Because he's a big part of the 49ers. If the 49ers don't have him at running back, they're going to have to throw more, and if they don't get another running back. But, Kittle's a really good tight end. For me, the best tight end over Travis Kelce. But they're definitely gonna have to throw more if he does not play, if he's in a different jersey. But yeah, he is a really good running back. Definitely hard to stop, just so fast. Just a different type of running back. He's not like Derrick Henry, but he is just so fast, so hard to catch. And I think the 49ers definitely need to hold on to him in the near future. I think that they need to get a deal done. I think that they need to reach out to him. Because I'm hearing that it's only a $1.4 million, so I don't understand why they can't pay that.
I thought they should be able to do that. I mean, we do got Deebo, and, like, he's going to probably be our number one receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that if he didn't ask for a trade, you could not pay him yet. But since he's already asking for that, then you have to.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, it's only been one season. But, I mean, you don't need to pay. Obviously, the 49ers didn't think that they had to pay him. But you don't want to see him go either. Because he's a really good running back. And a running back that is really good. So I think that they definitely need to hold on to him. So, yeah, I think that's basically all the franchise deadline deals. So there's only 24 more minutes until the deadline ends. So we're going to go. But yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about?
I think that should be it.
Yeah. That's basically all the news. They still are trying to figure out the NFL preseason, but I think that is going to do it for this episode. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye.